This question is coming from November 25 revision test paper CA final. There is a chartered accountant who has been appointed as an auditor of a government company where the central government is holding 72% of the shares. The chartered accountant has to commence the audit in a very short span of time. A very less time is given to commence the audit and conclude the audit. In such case, the chartered accountant, he communicates to the previous auditor, but he has to commence the audit before he receives any reply from the previous auditor. So hence, he gives a conditional acceptance he gives to the company, that suppose if the previous auditor objects, then I have to consider his objections, which means that he may not continue to do the audit. There is a conditional acceptance which is given by the incoming auditor. Further, what are the consequences of any violation under these provisions? Now in this case, when I see the solution as per clause 8, part 1 of the first schedule of the Chartered Accountant Act 1949, a CA in practice is deemed to be guilty of professional misconduct if he accepts a position as an auditor which is previously held by another chartered accountant or a certified auditor under the restricted certificate rules of 1932 without first communicating to him in writing. So it is very much important that you communicate in writing with the previous auditor. That's the thing here. So you have to make a communication to the previous auditor in writing. That's the thing here. The mandatory requirement of communication with the previous auditor being chartered accountant applies in uniform manner to audit of both government and non-government company. In case of the government companies, banks of their branches, if the appointment is well made in time to enable the obligation cast under the clause to be fulfilled. Now such obligation must be complied with before accepting the audit. So you have to communicate with the previous auditor before you commence the audit. But here what has happened actually here, whether it is any entity, see whether it's a government company or a non-government entity, there is a mandatory requirement of communication to the previous auditor. So you're giving a respect to the previous auditor. Okay. So in this case, because the time schedule of the assignment is very much tight, where you are not able to wait for the reply from the previous auditor. So suppose a previous auditor, you are not able to wait for the reply for the previous auditor. So in such case, what happens actually, the incoming auditor, what he has done, he has given a conditional acceptance. He has given a conditional acceptance. And he commences the audit actually here. So he has sent the communication to the previous auditor, but also at the same time he has given a conditional acceptance that okay, suppose if any objections are raised by the previous auditor, we have to consider that. That's the thing here. So the incoming auditor should make clear to the client that his acceptance of appointment subject to any kind of professional objections which can be raised by the previous auditor. So suppose the previous auditor will object, then I have to consider the objections. That's the thing here. Okay. And further, what happens actually here, he has to decide that his final acceptance after taking into account the information received from the previous auditor. So whatever information he has got from the previous auditor, that he has to consider. That's the thing here. Now in this case, what has happened, if the auditor who is an auditor of a government company where government is holding 72% of the paid up share capital, he has given a conditional acceptance and he has commenced the audit. In this case, the CA will not be guilty of professional misconduct as per the Chartered Accountant Act 1949. Further, suppose a CA is found guilty of professional misconduct under clause 8 part 1 of the first schedule of CA Act 1949, in such case what happens actually here, the matter will be referred to Board of Discipline and the following actions will be taken, punishments will be given by Board of Discipline. One is they'll reprimand the member. Reprimand means they'll give a warning to the members. Second one, they will remove the name of the member for a period of 3 months. So they will remove the name of the members for 3 months, up to the period of 3 months, and there may be a penalty up to rupees 1 lakh. So because it's a violation of the first schedule, the matter goes to Board of Discipline. Reprimand the member means giving warning, suspend up to 3 months, and penalty up to rupees 1 lakh. Okay, so these are the provisions. I'll see you in the next video.